Hello everyone and welcome to a visual novel called The End of an Obsession. I don't know what it's about, but we'll go ahead and start. You feel groggy when you finally wake up. The back of your head is throbbing and your mouth feels dry as though it has been stuffed full of wool. With blurry eyes you glance about. What time is it? Where are you? And perhaps more importantly, who are you? You don't remember. Any attempts to probe the nooks and crannies of your memory are depressingly unsuccessful. Dwelling upon your identity too deeply hurts. It's a dull sort of pain rather than a sharp one, but it makes you wince nonetheless. Perhaps it's better not to attempt to remember too much then. Thinking was never really your strong suit. You have always been a creature that existed upon pure instinct, a fool who thought that she was more intelligent than she was, It would seem that I am getting carried away. My apologies. This is not the sort of story, and in any case, I hardly have the energy to be too acerbic. I'm afraid this has already been done before, and I wouldn't want to be repetitive. Or worse, still, trite and tedious. I will try to restrain myself for the rest of this narrative. Now let us return to your predicament. You do not know who you are or where you are, but with some luck there should be something close at hand to jog your memory. It's bright, and you have to blink away spots of white which bloom behind your eyelids. Hissing like a scalded cat, you rub your eyes with the heel of your palm. Your surroundings melt and twist around you, rippling like the troubled surface of a lake. Then, all of a sudden, you hear a voice call to you, light and bright and full of girlish amusement. "Oh, I see you're finally awake. Who said that?" "Ah, just there. You see her now. There is a woman standing by your bedside. She has hair the color of a sunset that curls around her face. Her eyes are soft, and her smile plays about her lips. She looks sweet like an angel, but you know only too well that looks can be deceiving. You are unsure whether you trust her. It is hard to trust anybody when your head aches so much, and you do not know where you are. Especially a woman such as this, who looks so very at ease. Does she not realize how anxious you feel, or does she simply not care? You try to ask her what's going on, but you can only get out half of the question before you start to cough. "Oh, you poor thing." The woman tuts, then hands you a mug of something warm. "You've been through a lot, but don't worry, I'll look after you now. Now here, drink this." You look down at the cup, and its dun brown contents as stink. Is it really safe for human consumption? Yes, it's fine, silly. I'm not poisoning it, if that's what you're worried about. It's in fact the opposite. Is it coffee or hot chocolate? The opposite? Indeed, I enchanted it to soothe any unwanted aches and pains, and I'm sure your head is aching. It must be, after everything that happened. Are you a witch? What happened? Now, I'll only answer one question at a time. It'll get confusing otherwise, and you must be plenty confused already. Now come on, drink. You are a little hesitant to fulfill this woman's request. She is a stranger, after all, and you have no idea what the liquid inside the cup is. This could be some sort of trap. But the woman is smiling, and she doesn't necessarily look wicked. Perhaps you can trust her. You bring the cup to your lips, not knowing what else to do. The weight of her expectant glare is uncomfortably heavy, and you begin to sip the poison apple. The drink is warm, surprisingly so. It makes your lips tingle. As for the taste, well, it's not unpleasant. In fact, it's quite nice. Is that honey? You only intend to take a small sip of the curious drink, but before you know it, you have downed the whole mug. It tastes too good, and your head doesn't feel a lot lighter now. You thank the woman hesitantly. You know not what else to say, and she beams. That's alright. I thought you could use a pick-me-up after everything. You've not had an easy time of it. Haven't you? No. You don't remember, the woman asks. Not a single thing. Or maybe that's for the best. What happened to you was probably quite traumatic. Though, I did try to be gentle. I didn't want to cause you any undue hurt. But here's the thing. It's surprisingly hard to kidnap a princess from a palace without causing a bit of fuss. The woman laughs. Her laughter is light, just like her voice, and it washes over you. It ought to be soothing, just like the drink she prepared you, but it isn't. Your shoulders do not get any looser. Instead, your whole body tightens. A princess, did she say? Yes, that's right. You're a princess, and I'm a witch. Everybody in the kingdom said you were singularly beautiful. Not that I could put much stock in those rumors, of course. I mean, how many people can say they've actually seen a princess? I thought it was all too hearsay. Just stuff and nonsense, really. But then I happened to glimpse you during a royal ball, held to celebrate your 18th year, and I realized the rumors were all true. You really are beautiful. You're so beautiful, in fact, I had to have you all for myself. The witch leans forward. She is still smiling, but there's something unsettling about it. Her teeth, you realize, with a start, are awfully sharp. Her nails, meanwhile, are terrifyingly long. She cups your face in her hands, her long fingers resting upon your cheekbones. Her nails scrape against your skin like knives. Her breath smells sweet, but not superficially so. Underneath it, you think you can detect something of the crypt, something foretold. I've been laying low for a while, keeping to myself. I've been awfully good at these last 100 years, but it does get boring. You know, always being on my best behavior. I'm a witch, so I suppose to cause some odd commotion here and there is part of the profession. Witches exist to curse people and to cause problems. Lightly the witch giggles, her sickly sweet breath skimming your face. And princesses exist to be kidnapped, especially pretty ones like you. Well, that's the way it is. It's the way it's always been. I'm just fulfilling my role in this little story, so please don't get mad at me. We can't help our innate natures. I mean, the last witch I read about was trying to be nice to everybody and help them, and then everybody turned against her. So might as well be mean, I guess. The witch leans in further. Still, her long fair eyelashes tremble. You look so pretty in that gown of yours, which was paler than the moonlight. But I think you look even prettier as my prisoner, at my mercy, in this tower. You are in a tower? Yes, that's right. A nice tall tower out in the forest. Nobody knows where it is except myself. And it's all protected by all sorts of enchantments. It's not possible for anybody to get in or out, except for me, of course. The king and queen can send out as many search parties as they want. It won't make a blind bit of difference. You'll not be escaping here in a hurry. You're all mine to do with as I please. And I'm not going to let you go. The witch's eyes flash like lightning. For a few minutes she looks unsettling, unnervingly inhumane. You want to push her away, but you can't. Your body no longer wants to obey you. Was it the beverage she gave you earlier? The one which tasted of honey? You do not know. You have no earthly clue why your body has frozen, why you cannot bend your fingers nor blink your eyelids. But these thoughts, and all the other thoughts for that matter, are soon scattered. The witch dips her hand. She closes her eyelids, her long lashes matted together. She parts her lips, then she presses her mouth, which tastes of sugar and soil and something sinister, something which you cannot describe, against yours. You, of course, are powerless to resist. How could you ever hope to push her away? You are only a princess. She, meanwhile, is a witch. It is her job to dominate you. Is that not how stories such as this always goes? Wow, it's her job to do that, so she must. Once again, you feel groggy, and then you wake up. The back of your head is still pulsating, and your mouth feels dry, as though it has been stuffed full of wool. Your stomach, meanwhile, is coiled up in knots. You feel sick. What time is it? You sit up in a bed, blaringly, half asleep, wiping your eyes with the back of your arm, when... Oh! Are you finally awake? Oh? You glance up in your head, snapping into position like a ball-jointed doll's. You recognize the woman who is standing by your bedside. It is the same woman you saw yesterday, the one who looks like a rose. Did she not say she was a witch? How very curious. You ask the witch what she's doing, an innocent inquiry, tempered by sleep, which makes her laugh. What does it look like, my dear? I'm waking you up. Well, yes, you can see that. So why ask? But what time is it? Seems awfully early. It is not so very early, really. It is a sensible hour, one that young fair princesses such as yourself should be up and about at. I'm sure your servants awoke you far earlier than this, when you still lived in that palace, to help you to your toilette. Did they not bathe you, and brush your hair, and dress you? Did they? You cannot rightly remember, but the witch is waiting for an answer, and you don't want to disappoint her. If you really are a princess, surely you must have had servants. You nod. What else are you to do? The witch smiles. I knew it. You should have been awake hours ago. But I am an uncommonly kind witch, and I won't scold you for being unslatternly. I used to be scolded myself when I was younger for, all sorts of misdemeanors. Most of them were made up. Oh God, don't I know that? I don't want to do unto you as others did to me. Not when you are my very precious guest. Your face colors a bit at the compliment, though you cannot help but wonder who would be foolish enough to scold a witch. Well, I wasn't always a witch, you know. Was she not? No, people aren't born as witches, dear one. They become them. After being subjected to enough hurt during their lives, they wish to shed their former selves, so that they may attain power of their own. Witches are humans who have been wronged, and wish to inflict some part of their suffering upon others in turn. Not that I mean to hurt you, of course. That would be a waste, when you have such a pretty face, and such a lovely long hair, too. Now, the witch beams, looking positively perky as she retrieves a gilt-backed brush from your bedside table. Will you let me brush your hair for you, dear one? Your hair? Yes, your hair is awfully tangled, and you have rather a lot of it to look after. You must have been tossing and turning in your sleep because you've knotted it. I doubt you know how to brush your own hair, what with your fancy upbringing, so I may. You eyed the witch hesitantly as some of your former unease returning to you. Why, you asked the witch, does she care about your appearance so much? Why does it matter when you are trapped in this tower? It matters because you're a princess, dear one. A princess is still a princess, whether she is in the palace surrounded by her courtiers or trapped in the tower with a wicked witch. In fact, one might argue that a princess is even more of a princess when she is being held hostage by a witch. And how does that work? That's how these stories work. Princesses and witches are just two sides of the same coin, the good and the bad, the maiden and the hag. Not that I look particularly hag-like. As far as witches go, I think I'm a bit of an anomaly, you know? But you're an anomaly, too. When it comes to princesses, your hair is a rat's nest. I need to make you look presentable. For whose sake? For the sake of this satisfying story. You don't understand what she means by story. This is real life, is it not? Well, I wonder, what is real and what is not? It is often up to the beholder. Now we're getting into philosophy, huh? You wouldn't wish to look disheveled should a handsome prince chance by your tower, would you? That would make a awful first impression, rather. Is it likely that a prince would stop by here? Not in the slightest, but hope does spring eternal. If daydreaming about being rescued keeps you going, then who am I to rob you of that opportunity? Goodness, that is so generous of her. I know. I'm very veritable saintess. Now come here. Your hair isn't going to brush itself. You can see that the witch is very insistent about this, though why you cannot fathom, so you give in. It isn't a thought you have many other options, being locked away in this tower as you are. Excellent. Now just leave everything to me. I have experience, you know, when it comes to making princesses look pretty. Oh really? Is she a habit of kidnapping princesses? Wouldn't she like to know? The witchess giggles as she settles herself down upon your bed, then reaches for your hair. The witch giggles as she settles herself down upon your bed, then reaches for your hair. Your body tenses at this initial contact, as if fretful she might strike you, might slice you, but the witch, despite her tile, does neither of those things. Instead, she begins to work, as obedient as any drudge, running the comb for your locks over and over and over again until they start to crackle. Oh? I'm falling asleep again. On the third morning, you are ready and waiting for your visitor when she arrives, though perhaps appears would be a better word inside your tower. You have come to expect the witch's presence, so you are not surprised when she takes a seat at the side of your bed. You regard her uneasily, her attire in your nightgown, your hair crumpled, your hair rumpled after yet another night spent tossing and turning. You think that you had nightmares last night, though you cannot remember them, not clearly. Perhaps you were running in them. Is that why you awoke, feeling so tense, your heart beating a staccato rhythm inside your breast? Yes, that sounds about right. You were running, you can recall, albeit faintly, through a forest. But then the witch holds up a wicker basket from which a truly mouth-watering smell emanates, and your half-recalled dream dissipates before your very eyes. The witch giggles, and in a girlish manner, she says, "Hungry?" You nod instinctively without thinking about it. You cannot remember the last time you ate, and the witch beams. I thought so. Now here. The witch reaches into her wicker basket, then holds a flaky pastry out towards you. Do you want some? You stare at the pastry, your gaze affixed to it, as if it were a holy grail, a sacred relic. All of a sudden, you can think of nothing but food. You are ravenous, so much so it scares you. It is strange, though. You cannot recall feeling hungry at all, not until the witch presented this pastry to you. It is almost as if your body forgot what it meant to be hungry until now. You could have done without the hunger pangs, but now you have remembered what hunger is, and you can feel it gnawing on your insides. You are not dripping at the mouth, at least, but you might as well be. You could reach out and take the pastry from the witch's long, bony fingers and stuff it into your mouth. You could tear your teeth into it and swallow it in 2 bits. The thought is a tempting one, but it is not very princess-like, is it? Starving, though you might be, you must maintain your dignity. The witch watches you as you hang back, abashed and tuts. Oh, stop being silly. If you don't get any food in your belly, you'll starve. Not even princesses are immune to hunger. Now look here. The witch breaks a piece of the pastry apart with her fingers, then she proffers it to you. Say, what? Are you really doing this? Doing what? This play act, you mean like lovers or something else? Does she mean to treat you like a pet? I am not just treating you like a pet. You are my pet. I own you, and you belong to me. You're mine to toy with as I choose. But for the present, I would prefer to be nice to you, not hasty. Don't make me regret this decision. The witch's eyes narrow. A foreboding shadow crosses her pretty face, though it lasts less than a moment before it dissipates. Now come, stop this silliness, eat. You still feel uneasy, but the witch's voice is firm and hard beneath the layers of sweetness and light, and you know better than to argue with her. You do not want to incur her wrath. You lean in. Then, as obedient as an enchanted lover, you part your lips for your captor. Oh boy. What did I get myself into this time? What did I do? You spend your 4th day in the tower, sitting by the window, looking out over the forest which surrounds you. Wow, I can move? There really are a lot of trees, and you think distractingly as your legs dangle over the cool lip of the sill. They spread outwards like a green blanket, or else like an ocean wave rippled and undaunted in the breeze. You cannot look directly in the ground for too long, it makes your head spin. Just how high up are you? You ask this question to the witch who is brewing a pot of tea over a small stove. She glances at you, all smile playing about her lips, and she says, "High enough, dear one." You ask her how high that is, and she chuckles. "Why does it matter? You won't be able to leave regardless, not unless you can sprout wings and fly like a bird. Do you think yourself capable of such a feat?" The witch's eyes bore into you. They're sharper than knives, and they make you shudder. You glance away from her, back out the window, over the treetops. There is a moment of silence, and you ask the witch what she would do if you did try to jump from the window. What would happen then? Then you would soon discover that you are not a witch or a bird, and you cannot fly. You would hit the ground, and you would break all your bones, and that would be that. Then you would die. Most likely. Which is why I would not advise it. Of course, you're always welcome to try. But you'd be much worse off for it, don't you think? You're supposed to be crushing into a bloody meaty pulp on the ground would be significantly worse than submitting to the indignity of speaking to the witch every once in a while. I knew you would say that. You're a clever girl. It must be your fancy education. You princesses are all so very smart. You bask in the compliment for a few moments, but something in the witch's words makes you frown, like it was sarcasm or something. What does she mean, princesses? Why the plural? Are you not the first princess she had captured? Are we getting a little jealous of the other princesses she had captured in the past? Well, you know how it is. We witches are very long-lived. We have 9 lives just like cats. Princesses, only have 1. It would be awfully lonely if I had to pledge myself to 1 princess, and 1 alone, when I have endured for so many years. You understand that, don't you? Then are you not the only princess she has kidnapped? Of course not. So long as princesses exist, witches like myself exist to lead them astray. But worry not. In this moment, you are the only princess I care for, and I will take good care of you. I can promise you that. Wow, I wonder what her history is there. Oh dearie me, where has time gone? The witches address you thus during your 5th day spent in captivity, after she has tired of toying with your hair. She stayed by your side rather longer during this visit than she has those in the past, and now the sun is beginning to set. The witch observes you, her long eyelashes narrowing, then says, "It's unfortunate, but I fear I cannot spend too much more time by your side. I need to be off. Even I have work to do." That's funny, you thought that, as a witch, it was her role to kidnap fair maidens. Is that not her primary line of work? Oh, I wish it would be nice if there were any money to be made in kidnapping maidens. Who knows? Perhaps there is. If I put a ransom on you, I'm sure the king and queen would assent to my request. I can make quite a tidy profit from capturing princesses. But they say you should never mix work with pleasure. While it would be nice to make a profit from my passion, I wouldn't wish to tire my favorite pastime. That would be true tragedy. So she regards kidnapping young women as a pastime. Well, what else would it be? It's just a bit of fun. For her, maybe it is, but for you? Oh, I'm sure you'll get used to it soon enough. I've not been too unforgivably wicked to you, have I? You think briefly upon the kisses that the witch has plied you with during the last few days, her mouth pressed firmly against your own. You can recall the taste of saliva upon your tongue. It was oddly floral, wasn't it? Everything about the witch is oddly floral, though you think she might be compensating for something. When she kissed you, you thought you could taste the earth and the dirt, silty soil, and writhing worms. A moment passed. You blink, then quietly you say no. She hasn't been too wicked to you. She has, by all accounts, been treating you quite gently, surprisingly so for a witch. Well, there you go then. You have enough food to eat, and clothes to wear, and books to read. What more could a girl want for? Oh, you don't know. Your freedom, maybe? Freedom is so overrated. How much of it did you have when you were a princess? That is a good question. You cannot remember. That's what I thought. The witch smiles smugly and leans in. She takes your face between her palms, cupping it, and says, "Now look, there's so many people out there who seek the aid of witches such as myself. There are many sad, lonely little girls out there with no friends and no family and nobody who will listen to them. Granting their wishes is my job, though I fear I've been ignoring their plaintive cries and flavor. I'm spending time with you. My clients will probably get angry if I keep smirking my duties. Now that is peculiar. Are you surprising that so many people would willingly seek the services of a witch? Do they not have bad reputation in these lands? Indeed we do. A bad reputation is better than having no reputation, though. Some people are desperate enough that they're even willing to turn to the devil for help. I thought that you would know that already, dear one. You fail to see how conversational topic is related to you. But then again, you have always been a bit slow on the uptake. In any case, I think I'll be busy for a few days. I won't be able to pay you as many regular visits as I have been, but don't fret, I will try to hurry with my obligations as quickly as I can, so I can be with you once again, like fate ordained. Fate? Yes, indeed, the princess is nothing without a wish to keep guard over her. Without me, I fear your existence would lose all meaning. But I would lose meaning without you too. We need one another, just like roses need earth in which they sprout. So of course I will return to you. I cannot help myself. We are drawn together, you and I. But if you wish for further reassurance, I do not mind making an oath. Now look here. The witch relinquishes her grip upon you and takes a step back. For a few moments you allow yourself to feel a flicker of relief, soothed by the distance, which has now been put between yourself and the witch. But then you see a flash of silver in the witch's right hand, and your relief soon withers. What is she holding? This is a knife, my dear one. This is a simple paring knife, which, really, I most use it for peeling fruits, but it should serve my purpose well enough. Behold. The witch lifts her right hand up, holding it upwards, so it is level with your curious eyes. She extends her long bony fingers, flexing them so that she seems to expand like an unfurled petals of flowers. With her other hand, she holds the handle of the knife steady. Unblinkingly, she introduces the blade of the knife to her palm. Then she presses. Blood begins to bloom all over her white flesh in moments, her skin cleaving beneath the tip of her knife. You watch, entranced, as goblets of bright red splash against the silvery blade, sealing it. The witch cuts herself without any hesitation, without any emotion, as she garners might snip from the stem of a flower to a pair of shears. Does she not feel any pain? It does not look like. Her expression is quite impassive, unwavering even. You have wondered before, but you are quite certain now. She truly is not human. She has transcended such a petty notions to become something otherworldly, something extraordinary. Now let me do the same to you. Does she mean to? But of course a pact has no meaning if only one person is making it, just as promises have no purposes if only one person is willing to keep them. I am already offering myself unto you, dear one, so you need to offer yourself up to me too. The way we will always be bound together, not through words, which are flimsy, but through something much more immutable. Both paupers and princesses are capable of telling lies, but blood is always honest. The witch speaks in a curious sing-song, which does not match how cold and inhumane her eyes are. She brings down the knife smeared copper brown with her own coagulating blood against your palm. She presses the blade of your skin, which is soft and unyielding, unmarked by any calluses. Yours are hands which have never known hard work. Yours are hands which have never known any hurt. There, just stay still, alright? That's a good girl, you're doing so well. But that was before you met the witch. Now we're in hard labor, making blood pacts with witches. Such a daunting task for a fair and fragile princess such as I. Oh my goodness, my hand, my precious beautiful hand has been cut. Once more you find yourself sitting by the tower window looking out over the forest. The witch was right. You think glumly as you scan the tops of the trees. This tower really is deep in the woods. Though you strain your eyes, there is nothing but green, green, and more green. The trees are nigh on endless. You have pondered the pros and cons of jumping from the window before, so you might run into safety. But you already know that this is a fool's errand. Your room in the stone tower is too high up, for one thing, for you to jump. If you were to attempt it, you would shatter both your legs, or worse. You are unsure whether you can survive the fall, no matter how verdant the grass at the base of your tower. And even if you did survive, you would not know where to run. You do not know where the nearest city is. For all you know, it could be miles and miles away. Nobody will be coming to save you, and you cannot save yourself. Princesses shouldn't be too proactive. That isn't how stories like these are meant to go. Like a good little girl, you sit by your window, looking out over the forest, which stretches on endlessly, and you think. You daydream and you ditter, but in the end you do absolutely nothing. Night and day, pass on, night and day. Once again the witch doesn't come to see you. It's been 2 days since last saw her. Only 2 days, but the time has begun to drag. If she went through all this effort to kidnap you, then shouldn't she make an effort to spend a bit more time with you? How dare she just kidnap you and then just leave you on your own? Goodness gracious. What a lousy witch. Jeez. The least she could do is spend a bit of time with me. God. She just kidnapped me for no reason. You'll have to give her a piece of your mind the next time you see her. Oh, she's getting feisty. It really isn't proper, leaving a lady such as yourself alone for so long. But has it really been that long? Oh man. How dare she leaves you in the peace and quiet of this tall tower. It has only been 2 days. That's not so very much. Why then do you feel so uneasy? You have a vague feeling that in your past, a life you can't remember, you did more than just sitting about or lying about waiting. But what else do princesses do other than wait? They wait in palaces for balls, then they wait at these balls to be asked to dance, and then they wait for a handsome princess to propose and whisk them away to other bigger castles. You should be used to all this inertia, this yawning, empty nothingness, but it gnaws at you. It consumes you, eating you away from the inside out. But you are a good girl, and at the end of the day, you know better than to overstep the boundaries, the role of which the witch provided you. You are a princess, and princesses ought to not try and escape. All you can do instead is remain in your room and let the world pass you by. Wow. Yep, I'm definitely a princess, alright. Waiting to be rescued by the handsome, unseeable, invisible prince. Oh, well, here she is. Came back to talk to me already. Can't believe you made me wait so long. Are we really gonna get on to her? Let's see. Dear one, it really is good to see you again. I missed you. This is what the witch says when she appears in your tower one sunny morning. After smoothing down her dainty fabric of her petal-shaped gown and adjusting her hair, you jump upon hearing the witch's honeyed words and drop the book you were pursuing from your awkward fingers fumbling. Wide-eyed, you glance towards the window where your unexpected, though perhaps anticipated guest is standing. You hope it does not show on your face. You do not want to be too woefully obvious, but part of you is relieved to see the witch again. You still do not care for her. Of course, she is your captor, but her company is better than no company. Though you have always had a fondness for reading, books can only alleviate so much of your loneliness. It is always better to have somebody else to speak to, even if that someone else is a witch. How have you been getting along, dear one? The witch asks you, her voice positively skipping as she approaches you. I hope you've not been too bored without me. Your cheeks prickle as you dip your head. Quietly you mumble something in response. That it has not been too bad, really. You have been reading, and books are amusing diversions, yes. I know the full well. I used to read a lot myself when I was younger, and more awkward than I am now. In my youth, all my friends could be found inside books. I am glad that we have so much in common. You will have to tell me all about your stories, but you have been reading later. But for now, the witch looks you up and down. She takes you in your disheveled state. You have not been awake long, but the sun is high in the sky, and she tucks. Her hair is full of more knots and tangles than a bramble bush, and the collar of your off-white nightgown is slipping down one of your shoulders. You must make quite the sight, a supposition from the witch affirms with a click of her tongue. Dear, you have not been looking after yourself at all. I know being shut up in this tower must be tedious, but you are still a princess. You can't afford to be so careless about your appearance. You really would be helpless without me. The witch retrieves a brush from your bedside, then approaches you. Let's get you looking pretty, shall we? Then the mattress depresses beneath the witch's thighs, and you sigh. You know there is a little point in trying to pull away from her. Even if you did, where would you go? The witch is all that you have. Without her, you are nothing. Your own worthlessness has already been imbued deep within your bones. You do not want to admit to it, but you still cannot deny the wave of relief which comes from your finally submitting to her. Wow. Yeah, that worthlessness is real. Especially when you've got nothing to do but read books all day, I guess. I mean, even learning stuff and you're unable to do anything with it. Having nothing to create. Having nothing to do. Just wither away. And obey the witch. Jeez, that would suck. The witch stays with you in your tower for a few days, just as she did when you were first incarcerated. She tells you stories about her travels and about the sad girls whose wishes she oh so kindly grants. She tells you about fairy tales, some of which you remember, though you vaguely from your childhood. She toys with your hair, weaving flowers into it, and she brews you cups of tea to keep you warm. She dresses you up in various outfits, and she paints your face as if you were a doll. Then, when the night falls, she takes you into the bed, embracing you, your bodies sliding together as if it were meant to be. That were touch and nerved you in the beginning, you begin to find a sort of strange sort of comfort in her proximity. You cannot recall anybody being as gentle with you as her, though perhaps that is not saying very much, given you cannot recall much at all. Then she leaves you. You cannot help but feel her loss. The tower feels uncomfortably empty in her absence, like a newly missing tooth, an empty cavity which aches. You sit up in the bed early in the morn, after her departure and the toy with her hair. You run your fingers through it, just as the witch did, but you are hopelessly clumsy and your fingers falter. You try to braid your hair, but you cannot manage it without it coming untidied. Part of you wonders whether this is not some great failing, given you are a princess. Our princesses not supposed to take great pride in their looks, primping and preening. You must be poor sort of princess. But despite that, the witch still cared enough to try and kidnap you. That must mean you are worth something, if not to your parents. Did they ever really love you? If they haven't bothered to look for you, then to the witch? At least you have her, and that is enough for the present to soothe you, no matter how hollow your heart might feel. How hollow your heart might feel. Will these words ever soothe me enough to make me escape my own reality? That in the end, it's nice to have the company of my own captor. The days pass by slowly as you wait for the witch's return. Not you trying to tell yourself that you really care about her or something. She might have braided your hair oh so gently, threading flowers through it, and she might have fed you sugary sweet treats with her fingers. But still she tore you away from everything you once knew and loved. She has ruined your life. You know that you should despise her. But when the witch finally returns, you set your book down a little too quickly and look at her a little too expectantly. The witch seems to notice this. She knows everything with those eagle eyes of hers, because she giggles and says, My, someone's eager. Did you miss me that much, dear one? Your face flushes at this, like a red-capped mushroom, and inwardly you wince. You wish you weren't so transparent. You look at your feet. You cannot look at the witch, your captor, and mumbled something that only faintly intelligible. Your response is hardly elegant, but the witch catches the general gist because she chuckles. Come now, don't be like that. I know that you like me really, otherwise you wouldn't look so enthusiastic. You tell the witch sullenly, in a voice of a true silent child, that you are not enthusiastic. She is reading too much into things. If you say so, dear. The witch smiles and reaches into her wicker basket that dangles from the crook of her arm. It seems like you're determined to be difficult today. Though why, I don't know. You ruined your pretty face scowling at me like that. But maybe this will cheer you up. The witch draws something from her basket, and, entranced, despite yourself, you observe her. You see that she is clutching a small stack of books, 3 of them, to be precise, bound in leather. She holds them to you like a peace offering, her smile soft. Here, is this enough to satisfy you, dear one? You thank the witch for her thoughtfulness, feeling ashamed by your earlier conduct, and she beams. It is no trouble at all. I would not wish for you to be bored. Wow, the smallest act of kindness can take away from a huge-ass situation that we're facing right now. Now let me look at you. How have you been faring in my absence? I see that you've not been eating well, that's good, but... Oh, I have been eating well, that's good. The witch examines you critically, as a sculptor might eye a piece of marble, conjuring from their mind's eye the hidden art piece waiting to burst forth from within it. Something about the way which the witch looks at you makes you tremble. Her gaze really is discerning, is as sharp as a razor, uncomfortably so. Why does the witch make you feel like this? You do not know, but... Oh dear, your hair looks awfully naughty. I fear you've not been taking proper care of it. You ask the witch once more why it matters, and she tuts. Of course it matters. If you stop paying attention to your parents, my eyes might begin to wander. I am a fickle woman, after all. She is hardly a woman. She is a witch. Yes, exactly. We're notorious for being inconstant, though I suppose that is what happens. When one lives as long as we do. The witch chuckles. She retrieves the gilt-backed brush from your bedside, next to the pile of books. Now, will you let me take care of you? Let's get you looking presentable. You bristle at the witch's words. How impetuous she is, though you wonder whether your response mightn't be, in part, from anticipation. The thought of being taken care of is not wholly unpleasant, even if the one who means to take care of you is a witch. What kind of care is this? If you really cared about me, you would have left me where I was happy. But you wanted to cause trouble, so there is no care here. There is only selfishness brewing. It has been almost a month since you were kidnapped. Not that you know it. Time has lost all meaning to you shut away within your tower. But it continues still. That is 30 days, and soon to be 30 nights more than 700 hours spent trapped within the stone walls of your new home. Yes, you suppose you have begun to regard this place as a home. It is where you live now, whether you like it or not. You have not yet found a way to escape. You do not know if such a way exists. The walls of your tower are thick and impenetrable, and your room is too high for you to jump out the window. There are no stairs which lead downstairs to the entrance at the base of the tower, if indeed there is an entrance at the base of the tower. For all you know, there is no way out. Is that not what the witch told you? She said she was the only one able to enter and exit at will. You, meanwhile, are quite enthralled, incapable of escaping. You have been in there for such a long time, you are beginning to wonder whether you even want to escape. Where would you go if you were able to leave? What would you do? You do not know. You continue to stay there. There is nothing else for you to do. I'm here. I'm just chilling, bro. Reading my books, being a princess. Hopefully brushing my hair this time, because the witch is so fickle. Witch is so fickle. Do you ever feel like screaming, dear one? The witch asks you the question one day, when she is sitting with you upon the bed. Once more she is toying with your hair, her fingers snickering through it like the teeth of a comb. Her fingers are long and cold as her nails. They scrape against your neck, oddly inhuman, and you tremble, though you try to suppress it. You do not want her to know that she unnerves you, or worse still, she endears you. You ask the witch, who sounds uncommonly wary whether something is bothering her, and she sighs in response. Is it that apparent? It is rather apparent, yes. It is not like the witch to speak of being tired, though you thought this was an emotion which afflicted lesser people, not all-powerful beings such as yourself. Oh, you flatter me, I am hardly all-powerful. I endured my fair share of hardships before I was able to become the woman I am today. I have suffered in my time, oh yes, more than you might realize. But my recent suffering has been of more manageable garden variety, I suppose. You incline your head, taking care not to disturb the delicate braids the witch is twining through your hair, in interest. What manner of suffering could be described as the garden variety? It is silly, really, but the witch clears her throat and says, I told you that I grant witches, yes? You think she had mentioned it, yes? Well, there's the thing, putting yourself in a servile position to others only ever results in headaches. So many girls demand so very much of me, it fast becomes tiring, and they can be so ungrateful too. I have been doing my best to live up to everyone's expectations, but it wears down on me. I have rather begun to sicken of other people. They can go and rot for all I care. But you are different. I know no matter how much hardship I have to endure, you will not leave me. You will not abandon me. I won't let you. Yeah, I'll always be here for you. I got no other choice, man. No other choice. Just gotta be there for you no matter what. You're the only person in my life, so I might as well. Right? Got no choice. Can't choose to be there for anyone else. Might as well be there for you. Which, my. You really have become obedient, dear one. The witch's voice is warm in your ear, her breath ghosting again against your skin, as she sits behind you upon your bed. Once again, the witch is toying with your hair. She never seems to tire of it, and you no longer try to pull away from her. You do not want to. What would you be without her? At this point, you can hardly imagine. The witch, recognizing how dependent you become, giggles and says, "You really are a good girl. You were quite the handful in the beginning, but you warmed up a good deal. It makes for quite the change." Now tell me, dear one, do you miss me when I'm not there? You swallow. Your own saliva tastes musty on your tongue, like an old dress which has not been worn in years, like a subterranean prison cell that sees no sunlight. Though the witch is asking is a moot question, she already knows the answer. Yes, you miss her. When she is away, you miss her awfully. Hee, how nice. I'm glad to hear it. It's wonderful that you can finally be honest with yourself. But I think you're still holding back. Holding back? Indeed, I think your feelings towards me, dear one, are even more intense than that. If you miss me, it makes me wonder, do you also love me? For a few moments you simply sit there stunned. You do not know what to say, what to do. Though the witch's touch is gentle, you feel trapped, a prisoner clapped in irons. If you had strength enough, you would throw her hands off you and scramble away, clutching what little remains of your dignity to your chest. But what dignity do you have left, really, when you have already surrendered yourself to a wicked witch? You can no longer pretend to have any airs and graces, but even then, you find there is only one thing you can say to her. I don't love you. Oh. The witch frowns, her arms crossed. Is that so? You're worried initially that the witch might be hurt by your response, but that does not seem to be the case. Instead, she seems to ponder, now holding one hand beneath her chin. A moment passes, and then, well, it's no matter. I expected as much. We haven't spent all that much time together, not yet at least. For a witch, a few months is nothing, really. But our beings who exist beyond mortals' concept of time, we see years as seconds, months as a mere blinking of the eye. I could keep doing this over and over again until you profess to love me, as I know you do deep down. Here, the witch's smile takes a sinister edge. She retrieves her knife from the air. Where did she put that? You hardly knew. Then she says, "And I think that is just what I will do. Now please don't squirm, dear one. This won't hurt too much." You want to ask her what she means and what she wishes to do with that knife, but you can't get the words out, though perhaps this is a good thing. Such questions are awfully trite and tedious, and they are pointless besides. You already know what the witch is planning. She moves in, quick and nimble as a dancer, winding an arm about your waist in the pas de deux. You are her partner, pulled close to her chest, as if in a lover's embrace. You feel her fingers playing against you, feel her breath upon your cheek, and you feel the blade of her knife. It enters your chest, plunging deep, deeper than you thought it possible for such a small knife to penetrate. You gasp, you sputter. The front of your nightgown blooms red, just like a garnished rose, so bright it hurts for you to look at. It's too painful. The smell of copper fills the air, fills your mouth, your vision begins to skew, as does your body. You pitch to one side, clumsily as a duckling, no longer a ballerina worthy of performing upon the same stage as the witch. She is graceful and elegant, as if she had made of air, and you have never felt more lumbering. You pitch to one side, and the witch stepping back in a flurry of crimson as she does. Oh my, careful, dear, I wouldn't want you to stain my lovely dress. Then your head hits the floor with a smack. For a few moments you lay there. You know pain, a sharp, intense agony which consumes you like a wildfire. Your blood pours from your chest, pooling on the floor in a sick, sticky puddle. You try to breathe, but your body refuses you. Your lungs ache, and every inhalation is agony. The few sad, pathetic snatches of air you are able to inhale taste like glass. It hurts. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. But to your immersed relief, it doesn't hurt very long. The witch bends down, knife in hand. Gently she caresses her face, as though she means to soothe you, as though she cannot countenance how you came to be in such a sorry state. My apologies, dear one. I wasn't as efficient as I liked. I still don't have much practice with this, but I'm sure you'll forget it all soon enough. In a few moments, this will all fade away, just like a bad dream. Then she plunges the knife into your limp, unresisting body once more. You feel the cold, inorganic material plunge deep inside you, chilling you from the inside out. The knife violates your body with a fast, which is fast becoming a corpse. More of your life blood oozes from the gaping, violent wound in your stomach, which is very, very red, just like a rose. There's nothing. You bleed out, your vision blurring, and you die. You do not even have a chance to try and resist your fate. This witch is not merciful, no matter how she claims to care for you, and will not grant you such a reprieve. Why would she, when you rejected her so callously? In this fairy tale theater full of bad endings, you reaped what you sowed with your cruelty, your callousness. But don't worry, this is not the end. Don't you know that all fairy tales have a happily ever after? You feel sick when you finally wake up. Like an injured animal, you lie there, so enfeebled but you can scarcely move. Your chest hurts, as though it was recently split apart. Your heart, meanwhile, hammers anxiously in your breast, a thick, unwilling piece of muscle, which is working so hard to assert its own existence. With trembling fingers, you look down. You half expect to find the front of your nightgown dyed red with the blood, but it is not to be. Your nightgown is peerless white, instead of the fabric smooth and unwrinkled. How peculiar. You were so convinced upon waking that you would be in a crater in your chest, a hole where your heart used to be, that your reality is a touch disappointing. It feels like a letdown, but you would rather have your heart in peace in place, you suppose, inside your breast than outside it and lying upon the floor. With your immediate welfare assured, then you glance about your surroundings. You think that this room, with its stone walls and its bookcases and wooden chair by the window, looks vaguely familiar. Where have you seen it before? You wonder this, trying to grasp at your faint, fleeting memories, when you hear a voice. You whip your head about, the lights in the room flickering, the sun outside sinking, and then rising again, and... Oh, I see you're finally awake. You recognize the voice, but where is its owner? Just there. You see her now. There's a woman standing by your bedside. She has hair the color of a sunset that curls around her face. Her eyes are soft, and her smile plays about her lips. She looks sweet, like an angel, but you know only too well that looks can be deceiving. Have you not spoken to her once before in this very room? You are sure you have, but the harder you try to grasp these details, the more faint and flimsy they become. Perhaps you are making it up. You always have had a penchant for daydreaming. You have not seen this woman before, and if you have, you must have seen her in a dream, or else perhaps a nightmare. Oh, you poor thing, this woman tuts. It is almost as though she can tell what you are thinking, or maybe she can simply see your feelings written upon your face, because she says, "You look to be the bad way, you are awfully dazed, and I ought to be able to help you. Here, drink this." The woman with eyes like roses hands you a mug, one which is earthen and full of something warm, liquid, of suspicious, honeyed hue. You look down at the cup, and its dun brown contents askance. Is it really safe for human consumption? Yes, it's fine, silly. I've not poisoned it, if that's what you're worried about. In fact, it's the opposite. The opposite. Indeed, I enchanted it to soothe any unwanted aches and pains, and I'm sure your head is aching. It must be, after everything that's happened. What happened? Now, I'll only answer the question at a time. It'll get confusing otherwise, and you must be plenty confused already. Now come on, drink. We're a little hesitant to fulfill this woman's request. She is a stranger after all, and you have no idea what the liquid inside the cup is. This could be some sort of trap. But the woman is smiling, and she doesn't necessarily look liquid. Perhaps you can trust her. You bring the cup to your lips, not knowing what else to do. The weight of her expectant stare is uncomfortably heavy, and then begin to sip. The drink is warm, surprisingly so, and makes your lips tingle. As for the taste, well, it's not unpleasant. In fact, it's quite nice. Is that honey? You only intend to take a small sip of the curious drink, but before you know it, you have down the whole mug. The taste is too good, and your head does feel a lot lighter now. You thank the woman hesitantly. You know not what else to say, and she beams. It's alright. I thought you could use a little pick-me-up after everything. You've had an easy time of it, haven't you? No, you don't remember, the woman asked. Not a single thing. Well, maybe that's for the best. What happened to you was quite traumatic, though I did try to be gentle. I didn't want to cause you any undue hurt, but here's the thing. It's surprisingly hard to kidnap a princess from a palace without causing a bit of a fuss. The woman laughs. Her laughter is light, just like her voice, and it washes over you. It ought to be soothing, just like a drink she prepared for you. But it doesn't. Your shoulders do not get any looser. Instead, your whole body tightens. A princess, did she say? Yes, that's right. You're a princess and I'm a witch. Everybody in the kingdom said you were singularly beautiful. Not that I put much stock into those rumors, of course. I mean, how many people can say they've actually seen a princess? I thought it was hearsay. Just stuff and nonsense, really. But then I happened to glance you during a royal ball, how to celebrate your 18th year, and realized the rumors were all true. You're very beautiful. You're so beautiful, in fact, I have to have you for myself. The woman, the witch, leans forward. She's smiling, but there's something unsettling about it. Her teeth, you realize, with a start, are awfully sharp. Her nails, meanwhile, are terrifyingly long. She cups her face in your hands, and your long fingers resting against your cheekbones. Her nails scrape against your skin like knives. Her breath smells sweet, but only superficially so. Underneath it, you think you can detect some crypt, but foretold. I've been laying low for a while, keeping to myself. I've been awfully good these last 100 years. It does get boring, you know, always being on my best behavior. Oh. You sit up in the bed, barely half asleep. Oh? You glance at your head, snapping into position like a ball-joint doll's. Then you take in the woman standing before you. Or is she a woman? It's hard to tell. Her appearance is oddly amorous, seeming to shift, even as you observe her between various ages, various states of being. In one moment she looks younger than you, fresh-faced and rosy-cheeked, a young maiden not yet in her 18th year. But in another moment you could swear she is ancient beyond mortal comprehension, decades of experience painting her face so that the hollows of her eyes seem to sag. How old is this girl, woman, this apparition of no fixed appearance, with her pale skin and her pale pink hair? You do not know. You cannot get to the bottom of her. She is like a puzzle box, a mystery, which demands solving. But you are tired and your head hurts and you scarcely know who you are, let alone this girl, this woman is. You cannot think. It hurts to think, but that does stand to reason, does it not? The woman, she did not introduce herself yesterday as a witch, said that you were a princess, and princesses are not supposed to think. If you try to employ too much brain power, you will accomplish naught, saving ruining your good looks. It is better to not bother. You ask the witch what she is doing. an innocent inquiry tempered by sleep, which makes her laugh. The witch giggles, in the girlish mouth she says, "Hungry?" Briefly you think of denying her query, though you know you are being unreasonable. It feels almost like accusation, as if she's mocking you for needing to consume food to live. For some reason, admitting to the witch that you possess such base needs feels excruciating. You would just as soon admit that you like rolling about in the dirt like a beast. That is how she makes you feel. You keep your mouth closed, your lips pressed together, but though your mouth might be silent, the rest of your body is not so obedient. From your stomach, a low, earthly rumble emits loud enough that there is no mistaking it. You mind your arms about your stomach, but it makes not a blind bit of difference. It continues to rumble regardless, low and deep, like an undersea disturbance. The witch notices it. Well, of course she does. How could she not? And she giggles. Yeah, well, at least your body's honest, even if your mouth isn't. The face flushes bright red at this. Of all the indignities, but the witch does not linger upon it. Perhaps she is trying to spare you. Instead, she reaches into her wicker basket and holds the flaky pastry out towards you. You stare at the pastry, your gaze affixed to it as if it were the holy grail, a sacred relic. All of a sudden, you can think of nothing but food. You glance away from her, but back out the window over it. There's a moment of silence. The breeze disturbs your hair, the hem of your dress. You exhale. A few moments pass, awkward moments, as the witch hums to herself while you glance out over the trees. A question rises to your throat, one which feels too large for your slender body. You know you will not like the answer, but you feel compelled to ask. Why, you ask the witch, did she trap you in this tower in the first place? What does she want from you? Oh, you silly thing. The witch steps aside from the stove and kneels before you. She takes your hands between her long, bony fingers and gives them a firm squeeze. A shock of cold knives through you, and you shudder. With wide, deer-like eyes, you observe the witch, as softly she says, I don't want anything from you, I just want you. You do not understand the distinction, and you tell her as much. What does she mean? What I said. You don't need to do anything, dear one, or say anything. You don't need to be anything, other than yourself, of course. I didn't bring you here because I desire you to act in a certain way. I just wish to enjoy your company. There is something a little flattering, you suppose, about that. Your heart flutters, color rising to her cheeks. But it still does not answer your question. If she wanted only to enjoy your company, why did she have to keep you a prisoner? Could she not enjoy your company in another manner, one that's less inconvenient? Naturally, that is what I wished, but it isn't so easy, you know. It isn't? No, dear one. You are a princess, you see, and I am a witch. We could not have been together if you had remained in the palace. You would have been wed into a boorish, loutish prince who wouldn't appreciate you, and I would be distraught. Distraught. Does she truly care for you that much? I care for you a lot, dear one. The witch speaks softly, her voice disarmingly gentle as she cups your cheeks, her fingers sliding into your hair. Her digits are disturbingly bony. But you find that you don't mind it as much as you thought you would. It is no longer as bothers you. There's something almost soothing about her touch. That is why I had to kidnap you. If I want to put it selflessly, I suppose I could say I meant to rescue you from a tedious fate of being wed to some strange man and whisked away to a foreign land, taken far away from me. But I am a witch, so I am selfish, like I said previously, and that's not really why I brought you here. I brought you here because I want to be with you. I couldn't bear to see another speak to you or touch you. I wanted to keep you all to myself, which is why you can't leave. I knew from the moment I laid my eyes on you that I wished you to be mine, and so I took you. That's all there is to it. And if you ask, your voice shaky, you were about to jump out the window, what then? Then you would soon discover that you are not a witch or a bird and you cannot fly. You would hit the ground and you would break all your bones, and that would be that. Then you would die, most likely, which is why I would not advise it. Of course, you're always welcome to try. But you'd be much worse off for it, don't you think? You suppose being crushed into a bloody, meaty pulp on the ground would be significantly worse than submitting to the indignity of speaking to the witch every once in a while. I knew you would say that. You're such a clever girl. Must be your fancy education. Your princesses are also smart. Indeed we do. A bad reputation is better than having no reputation. I thought you would already near that, dear one. Your brow furrows, your expression flat and dull, uncomprehending. Did you once turn to a witch, this witch, for help in the past? If you led a life as sheltered as the witch is claiming, it doesn't seem beyond the realms of possibility. But this, like so many other things about your past, will have to remain a mystery. In any case, I think I'll be busy for a few days. I won't be able to pay you as much regular visits as I have been. But don't fret, I will try to hurry my obligations as quickly as I can, so I can be with you once again like fate ordained. Fate? What fate? Though you have always been a fondness for reading books, can only alleviate your loss. Yes, you think. That is right word for it. Your tower is lonely. You have been trying not to admit it, not even to yourself, because that feels like a confession of weakness, but the quiet has been gnawing on you. Though the witch is no ally of yours, it is quite the opposite. In fact, it is nice to have another human to interact with. Not you suppose that she is human, not in the traditional sense of the word. She is still witch. You cannot trust her, and yet... How have you been getting along, dear one? The witch asked you, her voice positively skipping as she approaches you. I hope you've not been too bored without me. Your cheeks prickle as you dip your head. Quietly you mumble something in response. It has not been too bad, really. You have been reading, and the books are... amusing, diversions, yes. I know that full well. I used to read a lot myself when I was younger. More awkward than I am now. In my youth, all my friends could be found inside books. Then the night falls, and she takes you to bed, embracing you, your bodies sliding together as if it were meant to be. Well, I don't remember this. You cannot admit it, but there is a wave of delight when you finally submit to her. The witch, that is. The witch stays with you in your tower for a few days, just as she did when you were first incarcerated. She tells you stories about her travels and sad girls whose wishes were also kindly granted. She tells you fairy tales, weaves your hair, dresses you up in various outfits, and she paints your face as if you were a doll. Then, after the night falls, she takes you to bed, embracing your bodies sliding together as if it were meant to be. Though her touch unnerving you in the beginning, you begin to find a strange sort of comfort in her proximity. Who else do you have, after all, to spend time with? Who else will look at you like the witch does, with enchanting eyes, as if everything you have to say, not that she gives you ample opportunities to speak, is utterly enrapturing. You have never met anybody like her before. At least, you do not think you have. Your past is hazy, your memory is vague and cloudy like the surface of an old mirror, and you cannot remember them. Still, you think that the witch must be special. She makes you feel special, and that is reason enough to hold her in the high esteem. Then, when she leaves you, you cannot help but feel her loss. The tower feels uncomfortably empty in her absence, like a newly missing tooth, an empty cavity which aches. You sit up in her bed early in the morn, after her departure, and toy with your hair. You run your fingers through it, just as the witch did, but you are helplessly clumsy and your fingers falter. You try to braid your hair, but you cannot manage it without it coming untidy. Part of you wonders whether this is not some great failing, given you are a princess. Are princesses not supposed to take great pride in their looks, primping and preening? You must be poor sword princess. Do you love me? Do you also love me? You stare at the witch with wide, anxious eyes, just like a deer's. This question has stirred something within your chest. Have remembered dreams, perhaps, or passing fancies, or maybe even memories. You can recall somebody asking you a question once long, long ago, but you don't remember who it was. You don't remember how you responded to their query. You do remember the pain, however sharp and short. Then there was nothing. Well, the witch asks, her rose-colored eyes are fixed upon you. What do you have to say? You do not know. Oh. I feel like a good save here. You do not know. You stand there shaking your hands, clasping at your heart, as if to defend it from the vicious predator, a clever-eyed crow, perhaps, who likes to make meals out of knock-kneed princesses. What should you say? I don't love you, I don't love you, I don't love you, I don't love you. That's all I can have to say. Though you know the witch's question is a loaded one, you know full well what the answer she wants. You cannot bring yourself to give it. You cannot tell the witch that you love her, even though your body is screaming at you to do so, your every nerve ending on fire. You have vague memories of beholding this scene once before, of the witch standing before you, knife in hand, but even then, you will not betray yourself. You will not let her get to the better of you. She has taken so much of you already, your freedom, your future, and so many, many hours. You will not let her have your heart too. That is something you must guard jealously, for as a princess, is your heart not your greatest asset? You must keep it safe, so you might bequeath to a handsome prince, who might one day come by to rescue you. But the witch must know what you're thinking. Even the smile which paints her lips is cruel, mocking even. She snorts and says, "Oh, you mean to reject me because you think a prince might rescue you? It is pretty a notion, my dear. There's no prince to rescue you now. There's just you and me. And you can accept my love or not, but if you don't, you will suffer the consequences. Haven't you learned your lesson already, you silly thing? You really are stubborn." There's a flash of light. The witch retrieves seemingly from the thin air a knife, one with a short blade, but it is sharp enough. You know from past experience how devastating that blade can be. You are sure now, as you back away from your captor. There is a scene that's played out once before, exactly as it is now. You are sure that the witch has descended upon you, knife in hand, but your feet refuse to move. They root you to the spot, as you are an old oak tree incapable of breaking away. This is simply your role to play in the story, fair, pretty princess. Also meet tragic ends like this, when there are no princes about to rescue them. You play with fire, and you poor little fool, and now you have become hopelessly burned. The witch plunges a knife deep into the breast for a second time, while you stand there unresisting. This time, she makes quicker work of you, and she pierces your heart in a single blow. Your body slumps to the ground senseless, just like a doll's. And once again, the cycle repeats itself. You feel pain when you finally wake up. Your whole body burns as though cast into flames, and the first thing upon you do, waking up, is scream. You scream over and over, like a banshee, all while tears at your body, grabbing fistfuls of cloth between your fingers, as if you mean to rend your own nightgown asunder. Somebody stabbed you. You can remember that much. A knife plunged into your chest between your ribs and pierced your heart. You bled out and you died, and it hurt. It hurt so much. You don't know why. Or you're still sitting there unblemished, or why you're still breathing. What's going on? You shouldn't be alive. You died. You're sure of it. You know that you died. You felt yourself dying. You felt your corpse slowly becoming cold as you lay there, still and stiff, a porcelain doll made unmovable, mutable flesh, left to mold and wither away. But your chest is whole, your nightgown clean. There is no blood. There is no wound. What happened? You examine yourself, your heartbeat slowly steadying. With a shaking hand, you press your fingers to your chest as if this act might reveal some secret cavity in which you can wriggle your digits insides like worms. You pat yourself down, but in vain. There is nothing wrong with you at all, and now you're starting to feel rather silly. You flush, embarrassed at your unseemly conduct, when all of a sudden you hear a footstep. You whip your head upwards, the lights of the room flickering, and the moon outside sinking, then rising again, and... "Ooh, I see you're finally awake." Recognize the voice, but where to its owner? Just there. You see her now. There's a woman standing by your bedside. And she talks and talks and talks and talks and talks and talks. The witch addresses you that thus, during the 5th day spent in captivity, she is tired of toying with your hair. She stayed at your side rather longer during this visit than she had in the past, and now the sun is beginning to set. The witch amused herself for hours playing with you as she might a doll. Thought of you, of course, are much more than that. While dolls do have hard, impenetrable bodies made of porcelain, which are incapable of experienced sensation, it is not so for you. You feel every single touch the witch bestows upon you. When her fingernails press against your scalp, you cannot help but shudder. You had begun to think during the ensuing days that perhaps things would be easier if you were a doll. Then you would not sigh so from her touches, would not lean into her kisses, though you wish you could lean away. If you could not feel emotions, perhaps the witch would not take so much obvious delight in drawing them out of you. Then perhaps she would not torment you so. Like playing a playground bully, the witch keeps on pressing. She pokes and prods until your stony facade crumbles. She takes delight in your whimpers, and she seems to enjoy it all the more that you snap at her. You have told the witch to leave you alone before, but she never does. Your aggression only ever procures from her that light tickling laughter, which has begun to grate on you so. The laughter of a child who knows not the hurt she is causing. Or perhaps she knows, but does not care. You are unsure what is worse. The witch finally seems to have enough of your company. However, because she rises from your bed, the witch observes you. Her long lashed eyes narrows and says, "It's unfortunate, but I fear I cannot spend too much more time by your side. I need to be off. Even I have work to do." That's funny. You thought that as a witch her role is to kidnap you, fair maidens such as yourself. You have pondered the pros and cons of jumping from the window before, so you might run into it and safety, but you always know that is a fool's errand. You are unsure whether you can survive the fall, no matter how verdant the grass is at the base of your tower. And even if you did survive, your legs did not break from the impact, which are already two great suppositions. You would not know where to run, then not where the city is. For all you know, it could be miles and miles away. It could even be across the sea of lava, across the dark, tempestuous ocean. You have no idea if this is the country where you were born in, and neither do you know where you are on any map. The witch is the only person who can tell you where you are, and you get the distinct feeling she is not being wholly truthful with you. She responds to your queries, yes, but her words seem to bend just like the sunlight when it meets the surface of a mirror. Her words are like quicksilver. They shift and mutate, and you cannot pin them down. When you ask her where you are, she smiles and laughs and says, "Why, in this tower, of course." When you ask where the towers is, she says, "In the woods." This is not a lie, of course. You are most definitely in a tower which is situated in the woods, but any attempt to extricate further information from her results in laughter. If you ask too many questions, she invariably starts casing you. It's quite effective at shutting you up. It's very hard to articulate yourself when the witch's tongue is nudging against your own and her arms are about you and you are sighing. When she takes you in her arms and she folds you and she kisses you, you forget about your questions. You forget about trying to escape, if only for a few brief, blissful moments where nothing much seems to matter save her. Then she leaves you, and you find yourself feeling uneasy than ever before, disgusting at yourself for cleaving so easily to her kisses, and even more confused. You still have no idea where you are, but maybe the particulars don't matter. You are in a tower in the forest, and nobody but the witch knows where you are. Nobody will be coming to save you, and you cannot save yourself. Even if you could jump from the window, and you can't, and you knew where the city was, and you don't, there is something rather uncouth about attempting escape. You are a princess, after all, and princesses aren't supposed to rescue themselves. That's not how stories like these go. They're supposed to wait until a handsome prince rescues them, and that's what you do. Like a good little girl, you sit by your window, looking out over the forest, which stresses on endlessly, and you think. Your daydreams, and you dither, and at the end you do absolutely nothing. Not a thing. Can't do anything. Nothing is the best thing to do. Oh yeah, the witch doesn't come to see you. Empty and nothingness gnaw at you, and that's why you begin reading. It's fortunate that the tower is completely devoid of entertainment. There are books, at least shelves of them, full of them stacked against the stone walls. There's so many books. The wood shelves groan beneath their weight. You're hard-pressed to pick a book, but you eventually settle upon a romance. It's frothy and inoffensive and not particularly interesting, but losing yourself within the pages is better than sitting idle. It at least occupies your brain. It stops you from thinking about your predicament, which can only be described as dire. And it stops you, too, from thinking about her. That really is the most frustrating part about this whole experience. When the witch was with you, forever by your side, you could not wait to be rid of her. Now that you are rid of her, you have nothing left to look forward to save her next visit. Your world has been very small indeed since you were kidnapped, compressed down on itself until it could be fit inside a walnut shell. That is why you read. If you immerse yourself in somebody else's life, even if it is made up, it might stop you thinking about your own. At the moment, it's the only meaningful way in which you can be free. Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes you stop thinking about your own to the wrong people. Dear one, it really is good to see you again. I missed you. That is what the witch says when she appears in your tower one sunny morning, after smoothing down the dainty fabric of her petal-shaped gown and adjusting her hair. The witch retrieves a brush from her bedtime, then approaches you. She has done this many times before, but you find yourself shrinking away from her regardless. You do not want the witch touching your hair. You do not want her touching any part of you. You do not want to be alone, but you do not want to be with her either. You do not want her to disappear, but you cannot bear to look at her. Paralyzed by indecision, not knowing what you want, not knowing what to say, you edge away, small and afraid, while the witch smiles. Now let me make you beautiful, as if I wasn't already beautiful with my own messy hair. The mattress depresses beneath the witch's thighs, and you sigh. You know, there's a little point in trying to pull away from her. Even if you did, where would you go? The witch is all that you have. Without her, you are nothing. Your own worthlessness has already been imbued deep within your bones. You do not want to admit to it, but even you cannot deny the wave of relief which comes when you are finally submitting to her. Yes, it's nice to have someone take care of you. Sadly, it's not the person who loves you the most. It's the person who brings you the most pain if you don't do what they want. And that's how a lot of people feel. If you don't do what they want, they'll just hurt you until you do what you want, do what they want you to do. Until you say the right things that they want to hear. Sometimes you don't even know what the right thing is until it's too late. Sometimes you say something that you didn't know was wrong and then it's already gone. Or you just get hurt for it for no reason. Or maybe you thought there was no reason, but maybe to them there was a reason and it justifies them hurting you. Well, yeah, it really justifies a lot. Especially when you don't do exactly what people want you to do or be the person they want you to be, because you just disappoint everybody around you no matter what. Even the best people in your life see you as the worst person, and they do not say, they simply mask themselves around you. They make you think that you're worth something to them. They make you think that you mean something to them. They make you feel like you matter in some way. But it's all lies. No one truly ever cares about someone. Unless they are that person that they want you to be. And if you're not that, what's the point in caring about that person unless they are exactly what you wish for? Because in the end, that's just how life works. If you're not exactly the person everyone wants you to be, then it's easy. It's very easy for people to just leave you behind as if you were meaningless and never worth anything to them in the first place. And after feeling these feelings for so long, it makes you wonder if you ever mattered to anyone, and if you ever really should have been there for them in the first place, or if they ever really appreciated you being there or ever wanted you around everly. They just never wanted you to be born sometimes. They just... Why did they just keep you around just to hurt you? And they never really wanted you there. The witch stays with you in the tower for a few days, just as she did when you were first incarcerated. She tells you stories about her travels, about the sad girls who wishes Shio kindly grants. Your face flushes like this, like a red-capped mushroom. She's asking if I miss her again. Aren't you princesses supposed to be calm, composed, perfectly poised? You might not remember much of your past, nor of your life in the palace, but you think you should be accustomed to compliments at this point. Surely princes have been going down on one knee and taking your hand for years, ever since your 18th birthday. It should be ingrained in you, but you feel awkward and clumsy before the witch's words regardless, stripped bare and oddly exposed. It is enough to make you wonder, are you really a princess after all? You look at your feet. You cannot look at the witch, your captor, and mumble something that is only faintly intelligible. Your response is hardly elegant, but the witch catches the general gist because she chuckles. Come now, dear, don't be like that. I know you like me really, otherwise you wouldn't look so enthusiastic. You tell the witch sullenly in the voice of a transient, innocent child that you are not enthusiastic, as she is reading too much into things. You mean to reply, oh yeah, she gives us the books. do they satisfy you, dear one? Your initial instinct is to thank the witch for her kindness, but why should you? She kidnapped you. You do not owe the witch anything. You should not owe her anything, at least. But that makes it all the more complicated to navigate this gift. What should you do? You did her a few seconds, rendering mute. You never knew what to say to the witch, while the witch chuckles. Well, let me leave these for you at your bedside table. You can peruse them when it's most convenient for you, or not, if they aren't to your liking. I'm not boorish enough to force the gift upon a fair maiden if she doesn't want it. That is quite curious, given she was boorish enough to kidnap you. Now let me look at you. How have you been faring in my absence? I see you've been eating well, that's good, but the witch examines you critically, as a sculptor might a piece of marble, conjuring with their mind's eye the hidden art piece waiting to burst from within it. You do not know, but you wish you didn't. It makes your skin crawl. Oh dear, your hair looks awfully naughty. I fear you've not been taking proper care of it. You ask the witch once more why it matters, and she tuts. Of course it matters if you stop paying attention to your appearance. My eyes might wander. I'm a fickle woman, after all. What would you do? The time unspools before you, each day blurring into the other. You have so much time now. But there is precious little to fill it save reading. You have gone through most of the books in your tower already, and you are beginning to long for something more than light, frothy fairy tales, even more insubstantial than sea foam. Perhaps you will ask the witch for more books when she next visits you, though you have no idea when that will be. Her visits are sporadic, and she does not always stay for very long. She seems to care more about how you look than what you think, and she fusses about your hair and clothes more than your words, but maybe that is to be expected. You are not a princess, after all. You were raised in a sacrificial lamb to be bartered away at the highest bidder. That is how all princesses are, whether they are engaged to princes or kidnapped by witches. They exist to be looked at and to be admired. What they think is of little consequence. The witch's treatment of you rankled in the beginning. It stung your pride, and your pride you suppose as a princess. In the beginning you railed against her. Now, however, you become to miss her company. Every day when you awake you are made aware anew of just how much your world has shrunk. It contains nothing save the witch. There is nothing for you to anticipate beyond the visits. Nobody for you to speak to save the voices in your own head. It wears upon you, but you have the strangest of feelings that this is where you belong. This is your new world. You are playing the role that is expected of you. For is this not what princesses are supposed to do? Being a prisoner must be in your blood. It is part of who you are, ingrained into you, just like your knowledge on how to pour a cup of tea without spilling it, or how to address your superiors without making a nuisance out of yourself. You know how to be quiet, how to be meek, how to be mild. You do not know how to stop worrying, however. What will happen to you if the witch begins to tire of you? What then? And days go by, and nights go by, and time passes on, uncaring, unrelenting. Many days, many sunsets, many nights. Do you ever feel like screaming, dear one? Maybe. It almost feels like... I did scream one time when I was waking up from you killing me and all. So many girls demand so much of me, as fast becomes tiring, and they become so ungrateful too. It almost feels like being back in the concierge again. The conservatoire? What is that? Some sort of school for witches. Never you mind, dear. The witch chuckles softly, her fingers stifling in your hair. Her voice sounds light as always, but you detect a strange note to it, a degree of hesitance. Did she misspeak? Perhaps she let slip a bit more than she intended. It is a nuisance, that is all. I vowed that I would not take on more flavors for others, but even witches must fulfill their purpose. I have rather begun to sicken of other people. They can go and rot for all I care. But you are different. I know no matter how much hardship I have to endure, you will not leave me. You will not abandon me. I won't let you. Yeah, I'm trapped forever. Oh boy, I'm so excited to be stabbed again. Love getting stabbed. And I get to wake up to a brand new day. My, you really have become obedient, dear one. The witch's voice is warm in your ear, her breath ghosting against your skin as she sits behind you upon your bed. Once again, the witch is toying with your hair. She never seems to be tired of it. You're no longer trying to pull away from her. You have grown comfortable in her presence, more than you imagined you might, and the witch has seen this. She has sensed your easing of your breath, the slumping of your shoulders, and she smiles from it, amused by your easy acquisitions to her affection. You have become docile, just like a cat. She is well aware of it, and the fact brings you the blush to your face. You look at your lap, your eyes half lit, and tell her that you are simply too tired to fight her off. You have been a prisoner for so long, it would be foolish to remain antagonistic towards her. She is the one, after all, who feeds you, who entertains you, who keeps you company. You really are a good girl. You were quite a handful in the beginning, but you warmed up a great deal. It makes for quite the change. Now tell me, dear one, do you miss me when I'm not there? You swallow. Your own saliva tastes musty on your tongue. It's like an old dress which has not been worn in years, like a subterranean prison cell which sees no sunlight. Though the witch is asking is a mute question, she already knows the answer. Yes, you miss her. And when she is away, you miss her awfully. You have been fighting off slowly mounting questions of deja vu since you first awoken in this tower, but the question finally brings you to your senses. You feel as though you have finally awoken. She is like Sleeping Beauty from a long, long dream. The witch has asked you this question once before. She asked you whether you loved her, and you refused her. You were too proud and haughty to accept her love, and you paid for it. She splashes your blood against the tower floor, and you were left to lie there in a heap, a sad, pathetic pile. You did not look very much like a princess then, for all of yours airs and graces. The witch left you to die, but she is a merciful witch, and she has given you a second chance. What will you say to her this time? Oh no, this is when I should have saved. God, bro. Do I get to finally say I love you? I mean, I don't love her. That is my truth. Should I acknowledge that that is my truth? I am interested in that I love you. In the face of the witch's inquisition, there is only one thing you can say. There's only a thing that destiny will allow you to say. This is the moment that your story has led up to. This is why you exist within this tower, with the witch watching over you. You exist solely so that you can love her, and you know, the moment that your words pass your lips, you have done your duty. You have fulfilled your role in the story. There will be no more resisting from you now. Your shoulders slump in relief, finally content with your newfound bondage with this repeating, recursive nightmare as the witch smiles. She looks at you tenderly, as a mother might a child, as though you are her child and you have pleased her by eating all of your vegetables or tidying up your clothes. It took some doing, but you finally given her the correct answer. Of course you love the witch, how could you not? She is all you know in this world and all you have to rely on, and is a blind reliance, not what love is. The witch seems to agree because she giggles. Her fingers curl against her captive cheeks, her nails digging into them just as hard to hurt. So sharp she threatens for a brief moment to draw blood. But your concerns are soon allayed, or else overwritten, when the witch leans in. Softly she says, I knew you couldn't keep holding out against me. You were awfully stubborn, but all of that silly resistance is in the past. Finally, you're all mine, my adorable pretty princess. Then she kisses you, a harsh, crushing kiss, which robs the air from your very lungs, and the scents clean out of your skull. And days go on, and nights continue to pass, and sunsets and sunrises wake and put you to sleep. You thought, after confiding in the witch, that she might be more compelled to spend time with you. You would hope by sharing her gently blossomed feelings, it would kindle a newfound understanding between the two of you, and that she would come to care for you. You had hoped. Oh, we're not sure what you had hoped, not anymore, but it was not this. The days continue to slide by as slippery as an eel's back, yet you see no sign of the witch. She left you food enough to last several weeks, food which does not seem to sprout, mold, nor sour, no matter how much time passes. Perhaps it is enchanted. The hard loaves of rye bread the witch bequeathed you do not bluish, white from age, and the cheeses she bestows you would retain much of their flavor. The punnets of strawberries are still sweet, the cherries tarnishingly tart. You're not in any danger of languishing anytime soon, but though your stomach is full, your heart feels discerningly empty. It feels as though the witch has stolen something from you, something precious which you cannot recover. The witch has already stolen you from your old home, your old life. She may have also stolen your old memories, though you are less sure about that. You are beginning to fear, however, that is the wake of your confession. She has stolen something even more intimate. She has stolen your affection, plucking words of love from your lips, as easily as she might twist a berry from a bush, or the head from a flower. She has harvested your feelings in a manner which, in retrospect, seems uncomfortably calculated. Did she lavish you with the gifts so you might grow to adore her? Did she cultivate your feelings on purpose in hopes of reaping them, of having something else to steal from you? Now that she has claimed your heart, perhaps she no longer finds you amusing. Has she begun to grow bored of you? What will happen to you then? Will she abandon you, all alone in this tower, with no way of escaping, no means of procuring your own food? If she were to do that, then you surely would die, either of loneliness or starvation. You are unsure which would come first. You try to take solace in the pages of numerous novels within your tower. We have read all of them before. The story is a tome within the pages do not change. They cannot distract you from your anxieties. The actions of a put-upon heroine, in any case, all seems awfully trite. There is a lot of running through the woods, brambles snagging at the hems of dresses, or else catching in hair. And anyway, these stories all end badly. The heroine always dies. As far as the romance stories go, they are not very cheerful. They cannot console you. The witch is not there, and in her absence you are all alone. What does loneliness bring? Longing? The days continue to pass, but little changes. The witch pays you a handful of visits, but they are infrequent, few and far between, and they are depressingly, perfunctorily alongside it. These visits do little to assure you, but the witch still loves you. Assure you? How can she, when she still comes and goes very easily, just like a cat? If she loved you, could she really abandon you without a backwards glance? You do not know, or perhaps you do not want to. Dwelling upon it is too uncomfortable. Does the witch not know what she is doing to you? Does she not know how much you have come to care for her? Surely she must, for it was she who pulled that confession, timorous though it was, and uneasy from your lips. You told the witch that you loved her, and she repaid you by abandoning you? Did you come on too strongly? Was she unhappy to hear of your affection for her? That cannot be right, though. Not when she laughed upon hearing your confession. You thought that it would make her happy, but was that not presumptuous of you? What do you know of this witch? You do not even know her name. You work yourself in... you know what? I didn't even realize we didn't know her name. We really don't. You work yourself up into knots with every day which passes, so much so your insides feel uncomfortably tangled. Not knowing what to say nor what to do, you remain mute. It is easier to say nothing than to say too much, and to shatter what little regard the witch might have for you. But you ache for her presence, for her attention, and for her affection. And so, unable to stop yourself, you find yourself asking the witch what you did wrong. Why has she been avoiding you? Avoiding you, my dear one. The witch looks at you questioningly, her expression so believably bemused by that you begin to doubt yourself. I am not avoiding you, perish the thought. Why would I do such a thing so callous? You're not sure. That is why you were asking her. She spends so little time with you lately. You just thought. Ah, that is where you're getting tripped up, dear one. You are not a princess. You are a princess, therefore you should not think. You have no need for it. Princesses are made to be pampered by others, not to try and sleuth their way out of their own problems. You will be much happier if you stop worrying, silly thing. Well, yes, you suppose she is right. You can see that logic there. Your life would be a lot easier if you could simply switch off your worries, as if they were a gas lamp. Ah, that's enough, dear one. Remember what I said. There is no sense of thinking. You will work yourself up again. But you cannot help but think. You have nothing else to occupy your hours when she is away, and she has been away so often. Ah yes, I suppose you are right. I have been keeping you away from you lately, but that is not due to any malice on my part. No? Of course not. My feelings for you remain as strong as ever, but I have been awfully busy lately, that is all. There are so many sad, lonely girls out there, after all, with wishes that need granting. If I have seemed all that distracted, that is why. It has nothing to do with you, so please do not cry. I cannot bear to see you looking so sad. What? Were you crying? Yes, you are. Your eyes are so wet, and so are your cheeks. You poor thing. The witch tuts and leans in. Gently she introduces her fingers to your cheeks, cupping them as if you are something invaluable. When she touches you like that, you feel as though you are precious. On your own. It is easy to get caught up in the mire of your own thoughts, but with the witch... Shh, easy now. Try not to cry, dear. You will spoil your pretty face. With the witch, you feel like your princess she claims that you are. She makes you feel as though, for the first time in your life, you are wanted, you are needed, you are safe. And sure, perhaps, that is why you begin to cry in earnest the gentler the witch handles you. You always thought it was a foolish thing to kill somebody with kindness, but now you think you can finally see the logic behind it. The witch is killing you, whether she knows it or not. Even when she leaves you, you are not alone, not truly. She has burrowed her way into your heart, and there you fear she will remain, lodged from now until the end of all times. You will never be able to disentangle yourself from her. You love her far too much for that. And that is how we believe for the rest of our lives, trapped in the tower. You try to maintain a positive attitude as the days elapse, afraid that you might deter the witch if you become too mawkish. You can get through the days well enough brushing your hair, painting pictures, or else flipping through your numerous books, which the witch has bought you. You have distractions enough to keep your mind and your hands occupied, a fact for which you are thankful. You do not have many distractions, but you have enough. When the sun sinks beneath the trees, however, and the sky turns dark blue, then black, your doubts begin to pile up on you. During the night, when it is cold and the wind is blowing, you can no longer fool yourself. It has been a week, 2 weeks, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 since you last saw the witch. She visits you rarely now, so much so that your cold, untouched skin is beginning to yearn for the brush of her fingers. You sit by your window when the sun begins to sink and you watch it as it dips beneath the horizon. You hope with the setting of the sun that the witch might pay you a surprise visit. You wonder whether she will appear at the window, pull you in her arms, and pepper your eyelids and cheeks with her kisses. And she never does. She never does. How neglectful of her. No peppered kisses. So sad. They used to make my eyes cry tears of joy because there was pepper, a little bit of pepper in every kiss. You're sitting at the window once again, as has become a commonplace occurrence for you, dreaming of what could be, and what should be. When first you were in prison, within the stone tower, you used to dream of escaping from your confines, running far, far away. You had dreams of sitting upon a cliffside and a salty breeze in your hair, and the sound of waves upon the shore in your ears. That or seeking refuge amongst the rows of thatch roof cottages in the quiet residence where few dwell. You dreamt of being taken in by someone wiser than you, someone but kinder. You dreamt of being treated with care and respect. That is all you wanted. But your wishes have shifted since then, as has your heart. No longer do you dream of the seashore, of the waves, and of the cliffs. Your dreams have become rather more isolated. Your dreams of residing with the walls of the tower, as you currently do with the witch by your side. She tells you that she loves you, and you lean into her love. You accept it without question, as if her words were manna from the heaven, sweeter than honey. You no longer wish to be loved in a quiet, measured sort of way. You want to be the obsessive, all-consuming love of the witch who was determined enough to keep you a captive. What other form of love could be more meaningful than this? You do not want a bland love, a mellifluous love, a common, everyday, unremarkable love. You have grown accustomed to the love of a witch, a love which possesses and which consumes. You want the witch to love you as you have come to love her. But when the witch finally does come to visit you, you cannot see any love upon her face. You cannot see any love in her eyes. They are cold and hard, just like stones. You gasp when you see her, and you do not expect her, and you scramble to her feet. The soles are bare, you do not bother to dress yourself, have not bothered for the last... How many days has it been? You do not remember. You have grown rather sloven about your appearance. You no longer care to brush your hair, or change out of your nightgown, or don your petticoats, or your bodice, and even your stockings. What's the point when the witch has stopped visiting you? You would sooner lie in your bed like a consummate wench and then slowly die. That is how it feels when the witch is company, like you are dying. You have known an intense obsessive love, and now it is gone. With that love you have begun to wither away. It really is a tragedy. You hope that the witch will be able to see how much you are suffering without her. You hope that she would take pity upon how pathetically you have become, and she would promise to stay with you. You wait with wide, eager eyes, hoping that she will offer some sort of excuse as to her absence. It needn't be a good excuse, so long as it's not, I have grown tired of you. As long as it's not, I no longer love you. Or worse still, I never loved you. If she lies to you, you can still love her. If she lies to you, you can pretend that she still loves you. If she lies to you, you can spare her your feelings. But the witch's voice is less than reassuring when she addresses you. Her voice is cool when she says, "Dear me, you are in an awful state. You haven't brushed your hair. You haven't bothered dressing either. Some princess you are, your parents should be ashamed. If a creature like you has any parents to speak of, that is. A creature. You look at the witch uncomprehendingly. What does she mean by that? I mean what I said. Just take a look at yourself. If you do not believe me, look at your reflection and try to argue that you aren't a creature. You would look at yourself, but there is no mirror. You have not seen your own face, save for a faint reflection in the witch's dark eyes for. God, how long have you been trapped in here? Ah yes, I suppose it is true. I was hoping you might remember who you are for yourself, without meaning to spell things out for you. But you're remarkably dense, aren't you? I thought you weren't supposed to be wise, but I suppose even the most powerful witches are capable of self-delusion, when the truth becomes too unpleasant for them to confront it. What does she mean, witches? You thought you were a princess? Oh yes, I did tell you that, didn't I? I thought it would be amusing, a bit of a role reversal. I wondered if you liked being the heroine in a love story for once rather than the antagonist. But this has dragged on for far too long already. It isn't entertaining anymore. It was never that entertaining in the beginning, to be honest, but then again, I have never been as cruel as you are, and I don't enjoy reveling in the people's miseries. I just thought that you deserve a taste of your own medicine. Your own medicine? What is she talking about? What do you mean? Just take a look. Should answer all your questions, dear one. The witch, but is she a witch? Smiles sardonically, her eyes half-lidded as she reaches into the wicker basket which dangled from the crook of her arm, from which in blanket beneath a scrap of red fabric she extracts a gilded mirror. The witch polishes the mirror in the hem of their sanity gown and hands it to you with an anticlimactic "here." Your fingers brush as you reach tremendously to take the mirror. Will I get to see it? Your innate desire, upon seeing the mirror, is drawn away from it, or else to be dashed it upon the ground. You do not want to think about what you will see reflected within its smoothly glassy surface. You are afraid if you inquest, all of this will be over. You will no longer be able to pretend to be a princess. But you are aware, at long last, that you are pretending. Perhaps you were always aware of it. Never really felt like a princess, even when the witch bestowed this identity upon you. The words princess never resonated within you. It never felt like you. You still cannot remember spending your days within a palace or a castle or even a dungeon guarded by a dragon. You cannot remember meeting any princess, kings, or queens. You are not a princess, then? You were never a princess. But of course, you always knew that. You just want to pretend. But the face which stares at you from the mirror's smooth, untrainable glass, all pale skin and dark staring eyes, makes it obvious just what you really are. You were and always will be a witch. That's right. The witch, Rosette. Oh, a name? Regards you unblinkingly with dark, dead eyes. Eyes which have seen far too much for one so young. But how young is she really? How long was she trapped, running through fractured fairy tales as she tried to escape from you? You do not know. You hardly recognize her, but you recognize yourself. You might have lost sight of who you were when Rosette left you, but now, do you remember? I do remember. I always remembered. My name is Medea. Yes, that's right. I am Medea, and this girl over there, or was Rosette. And though our paths continue to cross, we have always been alone. This girl, once so innocent and unassuming, languished for want of love, has known what it feels like to be adored to the point of insanity. She has been drowned, buried, and consumed by love, and in so doing, she changed. She is not the girl she once was. She has become a fine witch in her own right, with eyes that reflect no light, with a heart that contains no love. She caught you, me, us, while we were drifting, bereaved, languished for the lack of a little girl, who had so cruelly broken ties with us, and she imprisoned us. I don't know how long we have been trapped here, nor how long Rosette has been toying with us, but I cannot even bring myself to resent her. I cannot hate her, no matter how much she might have hurt me. She called upon me when she was alone, and I answered. I promised that I would be there for her. We made a vow, and though she turned her back on me, our connection was never really severed. The love of which, after all, is a powerful thing, even when poisoned, or continues to bloom bright red like roses. Rosette. Ah, my adorable, beautiful Rosette. No matter how much time passes, I still find myself drawn to you. Even now, I still adore you. Whether a mermaid, a poor village girl, or a princess, I will continue to love you. My feelings for you will never waver, even if you never had any fondness to spare for me. How could it? You ought to know yourself now, after becoming a witch in your own right, that it really does get lonely here. Damn, what a twist. Oh, things did not go well over there. The end of an obsession. So...
Come close, my little princess, stay here by my side.
Hell yeah.
Castle and village and next to the tide. Stay here with me forever, leave never, my dear. Oh, it really does get ever so lonely in here. Stay here, my little princess, come closer to me. Inside of this tower where you can be free. No need to ever worry, no fear and no hate. Join me in this dance floor, this will be our endless fate. Roses and moonlight, a tea time for two. The night must be forever. Let's start together, or maybe just run around, let the games begin. Eternal tears waiting. The end of obsession. Please let me stay here dreaming. I don't want this to end. Please let this nightmare end.
Wow. They even got a theme song for this game? That is incredible. The art is absolutely gorgeous, by the way. The theme song is banging, I'll just be honest. And the writing, it really did capture a lot of feelings that people go through when they are in a one of those fickle people's relationships or so. The end of a session. Oh, how you tempted me to play you, and I do not regret it. Such a good story. Such beautiful art. And if you guys enjoyed this, thank you so much for watching, as I have enjoyed this a lot. So, it's very good. Thank you so much for watching again. I'll see you in the next video. Alright. Goodbye.